of the army started striking themselves with the walls of Kufa. Karbala and Kufa is quite far. But the army was so extensively spread that the last troop was actually striking its back with the walls of Kufa. And there was a shout, Al-Aman Al-Hafid, peace, peace. When this happened, all the ulama have written, all the ulama, that there was a sound, a voice heard on the plains of Karbala. This ayah somebody was reading. Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainnah. All that consciousness, all that spirit which has reached the stages of peace. Addressing whom? Addressing Imam Hussain. Irji'i ila rabbiki. Come back to thy God. Come back to thy Allah. The moment this voice was heard, Imam Hussain Islam stood, took his sword and back into the sheath, because he has been already given the good news that this is nafs mutmainnah. There can be a nafs mutmainnah like Husayn ibn Ali. In our books, there is one mujtahid whose name is Sheikh Ja'far Kashif al-Ghita. A man who wrote book on fiqh, usul fiqh and fiqh while traveling. And he, without reference to any other books, from his memory and from his knowledge, compiled a book which was known as Kashful Ghita. And because of the completeness of the book, the whole family till today is known as Kashiful Ghita. Sheikh Ja'far once came for Namaz Jama'at, Salat al-Jama'at, because he was leading. And the people were ready for following him, just Dhuhr. And one Sayyid, illiterate, coming from the remote village, very remote village. He was Sayyid, but he was not learned, illiterate. You can say coming from the village, a stranger. He heard that this is the mujtahid who sometimes gives out money, khums, sahm sadat, distributes among the poor. This man was a villager and was also Sayyid, and also a poor Sayyid. He came there, and before Agha could start even Allahu Akbar, he just caught him by the hand. Being an illiterate person, did not even wait for Agha to complete his salat. And Agha looked at him and said, yes. He said, I am a poor Sayyid and I want something from my portion of khums. Now, coincidentally, Agha did not have any funds on that day. He did not have funds. If he had, he would have given. Whether this man is come on time or in the wrong time, Agha would have given. But on that particular day, there was no fund. Because people used to bring and take. It wasn't like today, where people send money from outside. Agha told him, I have distributed everything. I haven't got anything today. But if you can wait, something might come by the evening. You come and see me in the evening, I'll give. The fellow got wild. Because of his illiteracy, because of his poverty, because of being a stranger, a villager, he got wild and he spat on the face of Sheikh. And just as he spat, the spit did not come on the face, it came on the beard. On the beard of Sheikh Ja'far. A mujtahid of his time, people do his taqleed. And the whole public which was there was upset. There couldn't be any worse insult of a marja. So they tried to manhandle him, to catch him, to hit him, to beat him. And Agha said, no, wait for a few seconds. Leave him alone. And then Agha said, you stand up in lines. You stand up in lines for Salat al-Jama'ah. And as people stood in lines, Agha himself with his aba in his hand spread like this, went through the lines and said, for the spit of a Sayyid, for the spit of a Sayyid on the beard of Shaykh, contribute something. Whatever you have in the pocket, please give. Whatever people had, they started giving. It was a mujtahid himself. Whatever they had, they gave. Whatever was collected, he put in his own hands into a cloth, tied it, and gave it to Sayyid and said that I'm sorry I could not raise more than this. And with his own hand, he wiped off the spit. It was very easy for me to relate this. But it is only possible for us to imagine if anyone were to spit on the beard of Ayatollah Khoi or Khomeini today. What would happen? Same thing happened. When the Mu'mineen asked him, he said, yes, I myself got wild. But it is my nafs ammara which asked me to explode. It is my nafs lawama which asked me to restrain and to teach this brother of mine a sabak of Akhlaq Islam. So that tomorrow when he comes to me, I will be able to explain him, brother, if you don't get the money, you don't do this way. You have got to put up with this. You have got to act in a civil manner and don't act in this manner. But these are the things which nafs has got to. This is the reason why our Prophet is reputed to always initiate the salam. It was very simple. He said that in order not to allow your nafs, that consciousness which incites and excites for sin, to rise, try to subdue it by not allowing the element of pride and arrogance to sweep. You must begin salam yourselves. When you see someone say salamun alaikum, if your eyes fall on him, initiate the salam. Don't wait for the people to say salamun alaikum mullah sahab. After all, what is mullah sahab? If it's for him to say, when the Prophet himself said salamun alaikum, that is one. If you are high, the Prophet said, initiate salam for those who are sitting low. If you are riding, initiate for those who are walking and pedestrians. And give salams first to the young ones so that they may learn. This was a thing which he did. And it was this sunnah which Abdullah ibn Ja'far followed. You know who Abdullah ibn Ja'far is. Abdullah ibn Ja'far is the husband of Nabi Zainab. He was a rich man. Rich man and also generous. There was hardly a family in Hijaz who was not obliged to him. Anyone who went to him for any assistance, Abdullah ibn Ja'far would give. In fact, there used to be line, queue of people asking for assistance and help, and he was helped. One day, as he was passing in the streets of Medina, one man who had recently taken help from him, some money, was approaching. Abdullah ibn Ja'far normally expected that this man will say salamun alaikum, because I helped him. The man passed as if he had not noticed. He just passed. You know what can you, this is balai azim. If you don't make salam to a set who has helped you, you know what can happen. But this man deliberately just walked by without even having noticed. As if Abdullah ibn Ja'far felt that this man seems to be quite ungrateful. So he said, "Oh brother, salamun alaikum." And the fellow stood up respectfully and said, "Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh." And then he said, "Abdullah, do you know why I did not make salam?" He said, "No." He said, "The Prophet has said that after the 10 parts of sawab in one salam, 9 goes to the one who initiates, and 1 goes to the one who responds. I can't repay you in this world for the obligation, so I thought at least I must give you a chance to earn 9 sawab out of 10. What else will I do? You must have felt offended that I did not even take notice of it, but it's not so. I wanted you to say Salamun Alaikum, so that at least I repay you this much, that with this khulq hasan of Payghambar, you learn how to live, and we learn also how to live together. So this is the lesson of Akhlaq. Gentlemen and ladies, when we discuss Akhlaq, the meaning is to take ourselves to a spiritual perfection by our behavior. Whether it is an outward conduct or whether it is by our passions and emotions, we are going to strive for perfection and kamal. And when we discuss anything that we discuss the meaning of anger, the meaning of pride, the meaning of frustrations, the meaning of thinking too much of oneself and self-conceit, the meaning of spreading fasad, the meaning of backbiting. All this we discuss. We must not forget that we are not discussing this as a subject. It is known. We are discussing this either as one that will promote perfection or as one which will hinder the perfection. Because we are supposed to go back to the ultimate reality. There is an ayah in Quran, إِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. O Prophet, you are on the highest pinnacle of behavior. خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. And after the death of the Prophet, Imam Ali alayhi salam was once asked, describe the Prophet. And he said, Quran says, إِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. O Prophet, you are on the pinnacle, on the highest, on the greatest pinnacle of, summit of human behavior, the most excellent. The word used by Allah is Azim. And He Himself is La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-Ali, al-Azim. When Allah Himself is Azim, great, mighty, that mighty and great describes the Prophet's behavior as great. Who else can explain you what the Prophet was? This is the meaning of it. That they found him to be a symbol of, whenever anyone fell sick, he was the first man to go. To go and inquire after the health. One child of an ashab, one child, his parrot died, you know parrot, babgha they call in Arabic, died. The parrot died. And the child was crying, it was a pet. And the Prophet came to know that one Muslim child at home is crying because the parrot has died. And the Prophet stands up and goes, takes the child and says, yes, what did your parrot do? And he says, Ya Rasulullah, he died. He said, don't worry. Don't worry about that. We'll buy another one for you. And the boy smiles. And the moment the boy smiles, the Prophet smiles. The parents look at him and say, this Prophet has got a concern for the feelings of a child as well. This was it. Any death taking place, the Prophet himself would stand for ghusl, for kafan, till dafan. Till at last the Muslims themselves told him, Ya Rasulullah, it is too much for you. Because the whole Medina is Muslim. And there is death every other day. How can you do it? We shall call you only for Salat al-Mayyit. That means Namaz al-Mayyit. You keep at your place. We will do everything. We will call you for Namaz al-Mayyit only. And then the Prophet would cook himself at home. Tell the wives, cook today. Because no smoke should be seen in the house of the bereaved family. They must not cook. And the wives would cook, and the Prophet would take the tiffin together, go to the family and feed them, because the family has lost some dear one. And he told the people, when you go to eat to a bereaved family, don't allow them to cook. Cook yourselves. Take that which you will eat, offer them, and sit to eat together. Sit to eat together. So that they may also partake of. Finally, finishing it, Imam Ali alayhi salam, in the days of Khilafah, salawatullah wa salam alayhi, in the days of Khilafah, that means 4 years and 9 months, the last, visited one village. Now when a king or a Khalifa visits a village, you know what can happen. The people had the first visit of Imam Ali as a Khalifa. So people there were very simple people. And they had some customs and traditions. What they did was, when Imam came on his horse, they alighted from the horses. They were on the horses back. They all came down, dismounted. And as it was traditional, they started walking in front of Imam Ali like slaves, with their hands folded and head down like